I'm Chelsea Zaccato.
And I'm Natalie Heacock.
And this is Lumber Slingers.
Each podcast, we will be bringing you relevant and useful industry information, including interviews with top lumber professionals and discussion of current events in the industry.
Whether it be lumber grading, industry and market trends, or who's who in lumber, we hope to extend your current tally on industry knowledge.
Hey, Trent.
Hey, Nat.
It's just the Trent and Nat show today.
It's not the three amigos, it's the two amigos.
Two amigos. Chelsea's having technical difficulties, so she has to fix them.
Yes. Restart her computer. No.
Trent's the new Geek Squad. He's the Lumber Slingers Geek Squad. We've hired him for free to fix our tech issues.
Very low, very low paid, but it's worth it, right? Who says free help isn't good, right?
We missed you. You were on vacation, and our show was a dumpster fire. We're glad you're back.
Oh, I'm sure it was absolutely fine. At least from what I've seen, it looked very, very good. So, but I am glad to be back. You know, I'm back, refreshed, and tan, a little bit sunburned, and peeling a little bit on the shoulders, but very, very happy. Very, very happy. You know,
Ugh,
it's nice to get
jealous.
little rest before everything kind of goes super hard in the paint coming up. So,
I know.
I mean, it's already March.
Well, I did just cancel my Dubai trip yesterday.
What? Well, why? I can't imagine why.
I know. So I was having like crazy travel coming up, but now I won't. That really like alleviates my schedule.
Well,
But
maybe
I'm
you can
sad.
have something fun instead, maybe that you could do like more locally.
That's a good idea. And sorry, I got sidetracked. Chelsea's messaging me. I'm trying to help her. I can't do two things at once. I cannot record a podcast and message her.
IT.
Yes.
So you were saying that maybe you do something fun instead?
Maybe I do something fun instead. What could I do? But that was like a work trip. Well,
Yeah.
it was half work, half fun because we were going to go to Ireland afterwards.
Oh, okay. Well, is there anywhere else where you could do a half work, half fun trip? Are you going to any of the upcoming conventions or anything, or like shows or anything, like the NOLA T100 thing or anything like that?
Oh, yes, I'm doing that in
Well,
2 weeks.
I know it's super close, but I mean, same concept.
Are you
You're gonna be
going?
like, no, I'm not going this year. No. Yeah, I have previous commitments. I can't go this year.
Is
But
Patrick going?
yeah, Patrick is gonna go. Yep. So you can say hi to him for me. He'd be like, hey.
My new bud.
Yeah. But like if you're doing something like that, you could maybe tack on a little bit of extra fun or have like a family come down, and meet you or something like that, if it's
That's
something
true.
similar in the future, because I used to love doing that. Like it was a lot easier, pre-Quinn, because I'd have Ann come down at the end of like shows like NOLA, and then we just kind of explore the area. And it was kind of a fun way, your airfare is already paid for. So it's a little bit cheaper too. And you get to go to areas you would always do. Like we went and just like looked around Dallas. Dallas isn't some place I would normally just take a random vacation solely there, so it's kind of a cool way to explore certain areas.
That's true. You're so positive, Trent.
I am, and I'm positive. I'm IT. I'm travel. I could be your travel. What else do you want?
I
I
know.
can do
You just
everything.
have everything. A little bit of everything.
If you need to know about Disney cruises, I'm your guy because I know everything there is to know about Disney cruises. So please feel to reach out to me.
If you need to get a hold of Trent, please email lumberslingers@gmail.com and we will get that communication over to your new travel agent, Geek Squad.
Exactly. I'm here for everything. Oh, my God. But I will say my brain is still a little wonky. Like after being on the ship for so long, like I still every once in a while get a little bit of sea legs. It's weird because I'm so used to that momentum for so long, and that it affects me a little bit longer. Like I'm pretty decent now. Once in a blue moon, I'll get it. But like the first few days afterwards, I would stop moving, and then my brain would just feel like I'm still swaying. It's very odd. Like a lot of people don't
How
get it,
long
but I
was the
get it.
cruise?
7 days or 7 nights, 8 days.
I'm going on a cruise in November, and as I've gotten older, I get more
Motion.
motion
Yep.
sensitive.
Have you been on a cruise before?
I have. But
Okay.
it was like before I had kids, so it was a long time ago.
Well, Anne has the same issue. So I'll give you some advice based off of her because she gets it really, really bad. The two key things she's found is Dramamine is a lifesaver. They have all day ones as well that are not drowsy. So it's clutch to take that kind of first thing in the morning. Ginger root, I think, also can help too if you don't want to take Dramamine. But the number one thing she's found that helps as well, just keep your stomach full. That's the number one thing.
Well, I was going to say just drinking all day.
No, because if you're drinking without having a full stomach, then it's going to be bad. It's going to be really bad. So
Did
eat
she
a
try
lot,
ginger root?
stay full. Hi,
Can
Chelsea.
you hear me?
Yeah.
She's on. She made it.
Thank you, man from India on YouTube. Thank you.
What was it? What was the issue?
I don't even know. I followed what he was doing when he went through his settings. Claude was telling me to uninstall the driver and reinstall it. And
I just went and was like going through and clicking all these output settings
Hmm.
and it worked. Whatever I
Awesome.
clicked worked. I don't know what it was. Some setting changed somewhere along the way. So
Was
God
it
knows
in
I don't
the
go in there.
was it in the browser or in the microphone itself?
It was in the microphone itself on the output settings. That's why it's showing up everywhere. It just wasn't. Anyway, that's a story for another day. Do not call me if you need technical help with your microphone.
Well, you got it fixed though, so I think it's a success story though.
That's true.
It is a success story. Well, great timing because we're about to start the stories, and the first one is so important. I didn't want you to miss it.
I'm
Yeah, it's
excited.
probably the most important story we've ever gone over.
I wonder if maybe I should announce it.
I think you probably should because it might be a little weird if I did.
So, Red Book has a new quarterly column that will be prepared by yours truly, Trent Johnson.
All right, Trent.
And this one came out today, Building Ahead 2026 Outlook. Trent, we're so happy to have you on the podcast.
My God, Trent, the cutest picture I've ever seen.
I know.
Yes, it was. We had a family photo shoot earlier this year, and I got some headshots at the end of it. They're like different ones like that. They're like body ones, and it's like I like this one because it was on there was wood siding on it. You know, it's painted and red and everything. But I was like, it's kind of appropriate. You know, red book, red siding. So I mean, it's not red wood, but still, you know, I like it. I
It's
thought it was
really
nice.
nice.
And it was
Very nice.
So
pre-cruise.
tell us what's in the column. What can we expect?
Well, basically, the idea of it is it's an outlook based off of looking at through companies' financials, what their outlooks are, and then kind of compiling that and getting an idea of what the industry thinks is going to be happening going forward, like in the next quarter and out throughout the whole year for this one, because there's a lot of full year outlooks. Because, you know, I thought that it's one thing to fully speculate based off of what only I think, but to me, it made more sense to kind of look at what companies, like the bigger players, especially, were thinking, and then kind of try to break it down, at least the highlights from what I thought were important. So it's a little bit easier to digest. So, I mean, the article's still kind of long, don't get me wrong. And, you know, depending on, you know, how it goes, you know, I might have to shorten it, but there was so much information to take in because there's so many different segments that, you know, we all cover. So it was hard to make it super short because I thought there's a lot of valuable information when, you know, you're going through all these financials. Because I mean, there's a lot of companies that have relevant information. I kept finding more I wanted to put in. So I tried to, like I said, highlight what I thought was important notes through of what companies have said and then kind of help break it down in a more digestible way as opposed to having to go through and, you know, find all the, you know, outlooks and then, you know, read through some of the kind of, you know, boring stuff. So hopefully it's a little bit more fun in that regards. But, you know, yeah, I was very happy. I'm very, I guess, proud of myself for doing, you know, something like this and, you know, being able to, you know, kind of compile all this because it's not inside my normal wheelhouse.
Well, and I think that it's okay that it's long because it's quarterly. If you were doing this like weekly or monthly, it'd be like, okay, it's too much. But I think
Exactly.
that's great for once a quarter.
Yeah, this
Exactly.
is awesome.
And that's the thing is since it's once a quarter, there's so much and it's like, who do you exclude? You know, I mean, there's already more I could have put in, but you know, I was just kind of looking at what I had in front of me now and also incorporate new things. Cause I mean, there's a lot of references to the mortgage rates, you know, finally going below 6% and being right around 6%, you know, which is a newer thing. Cause I think that is relevant as well. So I try to incorporate a lot of things that we talk about on the podcast here and that, you know, I report in the Lumber Newswire and just, you know, make it a little bit, you know, of a nice little summary for everyone and then add my picture on it.
And then you have your great picture. That's the best part so far. I mean, I haven't read it, so I can't say that's the best part, but it does feel like the best part.
Well, I guess we have to ask Chelsea because she's the one who likes logos. What do you think about the picture? I need your brutal honesty.
I really like it. I think it's awesome.
So
Yeah.
I did use.
Do you get my stamp of approval?
Yes, awesome. And I mean, I was very happy. I liked it. I thought that the name of it was kind of fun. I was trying to think of something interesting. That's what I ended up landing on. And um, yeah. So no, I was just happy how it all came together. You know, like it's a fun little side project, I guess, so to speak. You know, for me.
Yeah, I love it. The picture is happy. It makes me want to like, and it has everything. Like you're going from forest all the way to there's like building plans, like where it's just you're encompassing the whole market.
That was yeah, and I mean, we talk about, or I talk about it. I can actually say for once, all of that within here, and I mean, it goes through, you know, lumber, you know, pure lumber, you know, from the big, you know, mills to panel products. Talk about things like, you know, a little bit about repair, and then about like specialty products. And the one thing that I found was very interesting from this is the brightest spot, because a lot of it, what I found was people are looking at this year, and I think there's kind of somewhat of a consensus that it's not going to be a giant boom year, but it's going to be a steady, small growth. You're not going to hopefully see you're not going to see people, things going down. It's going to be more steady, small amount of growth, except for like in the decking and composite areas. Like they're the ones who are projecting the most growth. They're looking to they're seeing more retailers bringing them on and putting them on the shelves and kind of positioning them that. So, I mean, they're looking at, like, I think it was Trucks that said, yeah, they wanted they were seeing double digit growth this year. So I think it's a very interesting thing to be aware of, because I think it's something that everyone in the supply chain needs to, look at, because I think you can see how they're branding themselves and positioning themselves, to be successful in the marketplace. And I think that everyone can take note of, what are they doing right? I mean, what are we doing that we could maybe help, because if they're gaining, double digit growth, they're taking away from somewhere else, and someone else. It's like, I think it's an important thing to be aware of, because you're seeing that more and more. I think, with the composites, they're telling a very interesting story that is seemingly resonating with, consumers. So what can, pure wood decking take from that to help, maintain and or maybe, claw back some of their market share?
Mm-hmm. You also say that repair and remodel's a bright spot.
Yes, exactly. Because I mean, the overall home building is going to be nothing. It's not being projected to be anything major gain wise, but repair and remodel is something where it's like you can see that on a smaller scale. I mean, it's a smaller scale thing, so I think that's where you could see some more of the larger gains. I mean, even personally, as with me, I mean, we're looking to do some remodeling here, and I think that's more digestible in these type of markets when people are starting to hopefully feel more optimistic as consumers, and like on our end as well. And I mean, if you look at a lot of just the financials from last year, and then how I've seen anecdotally reacting, it's like you're seeing people kind of initially the first quarter react to what happened for the full year. But in my experience, typically when you see kind of maybe a little bit of a pullback on some people being a little bit more, conservative, that's just because they're doing it kind of like an initial reaction to what happened. Whereas the year goes by and they see that things are not getting worse and either staying steady or slightly growing, you start to see some of that take place, across the board, like, whether it be advertising or anything like that, where advertising is kind of an easy way to see it, like, year to year. Um, so all that turning back is I feel like the repair and remodel, you're going to be seeing a lot more of, momentum in that compared to last year, especially as we get into spring and summer times. I mean, I think that by the end of this next quarter, the quarter two, so like, at the end, towards the end of summer, if we don't see a lot of gains that were happening by, end of May, then that's going to be concerning, at least in that area. But I don't personally, based on what I've seen, I think that's going to be, a pretty good area.
Good, exciting. Well, congratulations, Trent.
Well, thank you.
We're proud of you.
Very
Everyone like
proud
and
of you.
subscribe. I don't know if you can subscribe to that actually, but yeah, it just seems like the right thing to say, right? Everyone says like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. So, what else is brewing?
Well, there's a lot of stuff that happened while we were gone. So I decided to kind of focus more on the most immediate stuff, because probably a lot of the other things have already been trickled in, and have been touched upon, especially during your guys' first week podcast. So a couple of recent things that came out. The first one that I thought was interesting was BP Wood. They issued a letter of intent to acquire a minority equity interest in LDC Wood. So I mean, I've known the people at BP Wood for a while, from going to knowledge shows and everything, and meeting them. They're great group over there. LDC Wood, their headquarters is based in Belgium, and they're specializing in high quality thermal wood products. And BP Wood has talked about the thermal wood before the shows, and so to see them actually, kind of like, get into more than just a pure partnership was very interesting. I thought it was kind of cool, and I also wanted to say congratulations to both teams. I think that's a kind of a cool little, cool for both ends of that, BP and LDC.
Congratulations.
And in a similar vein, but different, another company that we've talked about a handful of times, Decks and Docks. They're back in the news.
Decks and Docks.
Decks and Docks. I don't know what Chelsea thinks about their logo. I think it's fun. I think it's a cute little logo with the
Hold on, I gotta click on it.
I almost said penguin, but it's a pelican. And I think it's
That
fun.
pelican would be on a deck or a dock.
Yeah.
It is a cute little logo.
So, Decks and Docks, they
It looks like a brewery. Like you go drink here.
I think it's kind of a fun one. I like it. I think it's a fun little logo on there. They're acquiring Prodex Supply, who is up in the Minneapolis metro area. So this is their first location up in Minnesota, and I don't know if they have any other. If they're more prevalent from what I remember, like on the East Coast and the South. So they're starting to kind of expand westward, so to speak. So congratulations to obviously both companies, and that's kind of a interesting little update for them there. So I mean, because they've been in the news a decent amount, but a little bit more quiet in the past couple years. I mean, there's been some things here and there, but not as much. I think they're at a little bit more. They had a little cycle where they're doing a couple of them like back to back. I think it was 2024 maybe. So, final real quick one in the kind of acquisition-y front, McDonald and Owen, they announced recently that they have been acquired by Spell Capital as their new ownership partner. I've known this company from going, I'd see them at, I think it was IHLA and NHLA a lot. So, you've seen them there, I think, too, right, Chelsea? You chatted with them quite a few times, too.
Yeah, we just yeah, yep. Tell you some stuff offline.
Yeah.
They're a great company. Nothing to do with them.
Yeah. No, so, I've chatted with David, many times over the years, so, it's an exciting new chapter for them. So, I mean, nothing but the best. But, yeah, that was interesting to find out too. That's up in the, Midwest area here too, so we're all over the news. It's all about the Midwest today, let me tell you what. We are
Woohoo.
popping.
Poppin'.
Midwest people are very attracted to right now.
Yes, yes. It's so hot right now up here, so hot.
So
Not
that
So
was
right now.
announced. That McDonald and Owen acquisition was announced yesterday.
Yep. Yep, yeah, that's when we had posted. The actual release came out, I think, the day before maybe. But it's, like, brand new. As the kids say, brand spanking new. No kids say that for the record. That's just
Like you have a little YouTube video embedded in here?
Yep.
Getting fancy, Trent.
We fancy, huh? We fancy,
Oh my
I
god.
call
Okay,
by
so
the
you
mail.
went on vacation and you came out with like a new blog and YouTube links? Were you
Yeah.
really taking a break?
I just had all this stuff just, was just brewing in my head, and while I was gone, I had so much built up, just I had to let it out somewhere.
That's why you're supposed to take vacation. That's the exact reason.
It's a good thing to take vacation because you come back, refreshed and just doing everything.
Agert.
I just gotta learn how to talk better now. I swear my brain is still half on vacation when it comes to communicating orally. Sometimes I'm like, ugh. Then on the personnel, kind of the movers and shakers thing, as we've chatted about it before, called before, the Trex, back to them again, announced that Lee Coker has joined them as Vice President, Corporate Development and Investor Relations. A VP of that, I should say. I kind of said that wrong. See, my brain's not working very good for talking.
For talking. For other things, yes. Talking, no.
Yes. Yeah. Talking, not there yet. And Silvastar Building Products announced that they'd appointed Mike Richardson as VP of Commercial Operations.
Well, congratulations to Lee and Mike.
Yes.
Moving and shaking.
Yep. Moving and shaking. Moving and shaking.
Now, Trent, what we're all dying to know, tell us about the mortgage rates.
Well, the mortgage rates are still low, but they technically aren't below 6 anymore. They're averaging at 6% even, which, to be fair, I mean, they went to 5.98% last week, is basically flat, for so to speak. I mean, obviously, if you picked one compared to the other, there's a difference, but I mean, we're still right at that 6, right below 6% rate. So I will be very, very interested to see next week. So I think that's going to be very telling. Is it going to stay in this direction? Is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? I think that will be more telling than this week, since it's such a small move. But I think that last week, though, as we've spoken about before, the going below 6 into the 5s, just hitting that 5, though,
Yeah. There was a guy in my workout class that he and his wife put in an offer for a house this week, but they locked in at 5.6.
Whoa.
for what?
Yeah,
How
I
many
Maybe they
hadn't
years?
heard of
bought
it.
it down a little bit.
What's that?
Maybe they bought it down a little bit.
Maybe. I think they're young. I think they were doing an FHA, and I'm pretty sure it was a 30-year. I didn't know they got that low, but must have outstanding credit.
I did see some that, I mean, because this is once again the average that Freddie Mac puts out, and I did see some that were averaging honestly pretty low. A lot of the 15 years ones, especially, were getting real low down there.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, I saw some that were very, very, sub 6 in the 30 years, depending on where you're looking.
Cool. We're there. We're there. Now unlock this real estate market.
Exactly. And as you can
And the
imagine,
spring.
this
Sorry, Trent.
spring is
I got
gonna be
excited.
interesting.
Yeah.
With that, as you can imagine, mortgage applications increased 11% from the previous week for the week ending February 27th. So
Wow.
it's getting like again, this is what we've been waiting for. So I'm very excited to see how this plays out over the coming weeks. Because I mean, I think that the one interesting thing is when you see things drop and then go quote unquote back up. Then sometimes when it drops back down, mentally people are like, "I missed the first time. I gotta do it the second time." Like it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out over the month of March. Where they end up as of the beginning of April. I think that you're going to see it's going to be very telling about and then obviously how many people put in for applications. But no, I mean we've been talking about this for gosh, who knows how long, but getting below 6 was pretty awesome. Of course, it happened when I was gone. But still, I was very excited when I was on the ship. I was like, "Yay!"
Maybe you need to go take another cruise
I know. All right.
so rates go down more.
Who wants to send me on a cruise so mortgage rates break below 6 again?
Yeah.
I just see Trent on the bow of a ship going,
Yes,
"Yeah."
I did it.
Yeah.
And, also lumber prices for the week ending February 27th, they were down 0% or $1 from the previous week when it was $4.96. So it is at $4.95, and the month ago it was at $4.94. So I mean, it's been pretty steady on here over the past month, all things considered, based on the Madison Lumber Price Index.
We were taking bets at the office yesterday on if they're going to go up or down when it prints today. Interested to see. But a lot has happened since the last print, right? A war broke out and stuff. So maybe
Yes.
I don't know.
No,
We'll see.
it's true. And for like a better way to say, the fallout, so to speak, from that over the coming weeks and months will be interesting to see if there's a major effect or if there isn't. I mean, yeah, I'm still trying to gather all my thoughts. I mean, I literally walked off the boat and I turned on my phone for the first time in a week, and it was like everyone bombed around. I was like, "Oh, can I get back on the boat?" Like, I want to get back on. I was not. It was nice not having to think about everything for a week and come back and it's too much reality at once. So
A lot of reality at one time, for sure.
definitely something to take note of how that affects anything and things within our industry going forward as well.
Yep, we'll be watching out. I think we agreed on the loser has to chug a beer and run around the office block, which some people said that sounded like a really good time. So they
Yeah, I was like,
were
that might
hoping
be a
maybe they were
reward.
wrong.
So glad I wasn't there for that part.
My
Well,
goodness.
Trent, it was great to have you back.
I know.
And we'll get back into the routine of things and we'll see you next week.
I know. I'm excited. I'm glad we got to get together, and all three of us ended up being able to be here too. Boom, three amigos.
That's
Not the
right.
We're happy Chelsea made it.
Thank you, YouTube.
All right.